What's poppin'? It's Mello back at you with another video. Toliver dropped his album Hardstone Psycho, and it definitely inspired me to make this beat that you're gonna hear. So I'm gonna walk you through some of the steps that I took so that you can do some of the steps yourself, and also give you some insights on how to use FL Studio Mobile and things of that nature if that's what you use, but also some melody insights as well, regardless what you use. So stick around, it's gonna be a good beat. Before we get into it, please put a like on the video. So what I'm doing here is I'm picking a scale. What I ended up picking was minor Neapolitan. No reason for that other than I was thinking about ice cream. I guess that was an accident, but we're gonna click the mode and go to chords. This is a new mode and I plan on doing a video about it later, but with that, you can actually play chords automatically. We're gonna play a chord progression. So as far as the chord progression, we got that. And the thing about this whole part of the beat, we're trying to lay a foundation, but with the purpose of laying a foundation, I am trying to get the mood. That is the goal, that is the aim. I am trying to get the mood. So I'm gonna rearrange some of the notes to try and get a little bit darker, but also I'm gonna be searching for the right sounds to make it darker or to capture that mood that I'm looking for. So it's gonna be some synths. Let's get into it. Now what I'm trying to do here with the pluck is mirror the chords, but at the same time create a rhythm. So that's how come you see me shifting the notes around. I'm trying to create motion, movement. So now you're gonna see me save the sample and load it up again because we're gonna do a lot of freaking. So we're doing the poor man's halftime right here, and what you gotta do after you lower 12 semitones, save it as a wave, and then you're gonna load it and freak it again. That's when we begin to chop it. So with this, it's gonna be a simple process. You want to slice every half bar because it's halftime. After you do that, you're gonna delete all the middle slices and then bring them all together and then clone them, duplicate them, all that good stuff, as you see me doing right now. So with that, you probably heard some clicking and popping. We are going to fix that. What I have to do with this method, you're gonna have to use the automated envelopes as far as the volume and fade them in. You're gonna have to fade in where the sample comes in and then fade it out where the sample goes out. Click the next one, then click play. You're gonna see where the sample begins to play at. You see how the playhead came around the end? I'm going to fade around that bar right there. So I'm gonna fade it in and then I fade it out where, stop. So I have to do that on each take because with FL Studio Mobile, it's just not as smooth as some of the other mobile DAWs, and it's gonna do the clicking and popping. So that's how you get rid of the clicking and popping. So after I loaded it, one thing I did was synced it and then reversed it. Now we're gonna listen. So with that, you see we have accomplished the mood. That is the mood. That is the driving force of the mood. The chord progression that we flipped into a sample and reversed and all that stuff and added movement to it. We now have a foundation for this beat, and it's gonna play through the whole beat. It's never gonna leave for the most part. So with that being said, what we're gonna do is move on to making a top melody and also some counter melodies and things like that. So the first thing I'm gonna do is look into using synth. So let's get to it. So what you're looking at is a passive melody, what I call a passive melody. What a passive melody is a melody with very few notes, very little movement, and it's just there to just, add just a little bit. It's not there to do too much. An active melody would have more movement and more rhythm. So when you make these melodies, passive melodies for these types of beats are the best because they don't do too much and they give the artist room to harmonize if they want to do that. So what I'm doing right here is a passive counter melody, but also what I'm doing is call and response. I let the other instrument, as far as the synth, play a melody for 2 bars. And then after that, I use this guitar to play a melody for 2 bars as well. So this is what we're gonna do. I'm going to continue to make the melody, but you're also gonna see me do some crazy processing. And one thing I don't think I show, I duplicate the guitar melody and keep the same sample, but what I do is I take all the effects off of it and stuff like that, keep it pretty bare and layer it over the processing that I do with the guitar. So let's get to that. So now we're gonna get to the drums. And when it comes to the drums, the only thing that I'm really trying to do is 2 things. Number 1, make it knock, so I'm gonna have a distorted 808 and stuff like that. It's gonna carry a lot of the bass and stuff like that. But outside of that, also make it kind of bouncy. So I'm gonna do that by using percussion. And one of the best things that I do in this is use, a typical 808 rim. So that's going to be in there. All of the sounds come from the Combustion Volume 4. You could get the typical rim shot anywhere. That's an 808 rim. You could get that anywhere. But most of the sounds, as far as the sounds you're going to hear, 100% custom and stuff like that. So be sure to check it out. But let's get into it. we're about to get into the final beat, but first, if you like what you're seeing, be sure to like the video, comment, and also subscribe. I'll see y'all another day, somehow, some way. I'm out.